All right, Amit Shah is about to meet the injured cops, the ones who were injured in the Delhi violence, and we're getting those visuals which are on your screens right now. He has reached Civil Lines Hospital at the moment. He's meeting the injured cops. So we're getting you those visuals at the moment. Take a closer look at the visuals coming in from Sushruta Trauma Centre in Delhi. He's at Civil Lines Hospitals. He's meeting the injured cops. He stands in solidarity with the cops who were injured in the violence that transpired on Republic Day. Home Minister Amit Shah on your screens right now. Live visuals coming in. He is meeting the cops who were injured in the violence that broke out on Republic Day. This is the tractor rally we're talking about that turned violent, and there was a state of absolute anarchy in Delhi with the Red Fort being sieged as well. On your screens right now, Amit Shah taking a stock of the situation, checking with the doctors how the cops are doing. He's making rounds of the hospital at Sushruta Trauma Centre in Delhi. Taking a stock of the situation is Home Minister Amit Shah at Civil Lines Hospitals. So there you go. He's going across and making rounds of the hospitals and meeting all the cops who were injured, and personally going and attending to the cops, seeing how they're doing. Kamaljeet now joins us live for the latest. Kamaljeet, the Home Minister himself taking stock of the situation in terms of how the cops are doing in Delhi. I'm going to throw straight across to you on the live visuals that are coming in. Kamaljeet?
Whatever happened on 26th was unprecedented. Over 100 police personnel were injured. With Amit Shah going to the hospital, he is obviously giving a sign that the government is very much with Delhi police. However, there has been certain criticism coming in from several quarters, but also the fact that Delhi police had shown high restraint when it came to dealing with those who were vandalizing, the rioters, showing a lot of restraint as far as the farmers are concerned. And this is where injuries have also taken place. We saw all the signs, especially in the ITO and the Red Fort. And now the Home Minister, after conducting security review where he met intelligence officials, this is a gesture by the Home Minister going and meeting all those personnel who were injured, who were battered by the farmers. So clearly, on one hand, there is actionable not just intelligence, but reaction coming on ground, with cases being registered, with political union farmers being booked. The third is to carry out a detailed review to ensure that there are extra boots on ground. And four is obviously boosting the morale by going to the hospital. So all these are measures. An important visit, the Home Minister being accompanied by CP Delhi. So this is a gesture coming in that the Home Ministry is standing by the actions of Delhi police, whether it's showing restraint or for that matter now conducting FIR. And obviously the CP Delhi going out and saying no one will be spared in such a case. This is simply not acceptable. So yes, a gesture now being shown and a ground visit. This not only gives them an idea of what's really happened in Delhi, but also ensures that the Delhi police personnel who have been hurt, who have been injured, the CAPF, he gets the first-hand ground report by speaking to all these soldiers and personnel of paramilitary as well as Delhi police.
Absolutely. So there you go, Amit Shah meeting the injured cops. Kamaljeet Sandhu is getting us all the latest updates right there. Live visuals are coming in from the Civil Lines Hospital in Delhi. On your screens right now, he's going from bed to bed, taking a stock of the situation, speaking to the doctors as well. Kamaljeet, I just want to draw our viewers' attention to the violence that transpired on Republic Day and the sheer amount of cops that got injured. And I must add here, Kamaljeet, that the Delhi cops ended up showing a huge amount of restraint despite the violence breaking out.
That was quite evident that they were standing down instructions as far as the CAPF, the paramilitary or the Delhi police is concerned. The senior officers were on the ground. But one way of looking at it is about the direct instructions which came from Home Minister's office as far as dealing with the farmers were concerned. And that is why there was enough evidence being brought to light, whether it is through a face recognition technology whether it is about CCTV, it is about identifying the farmer union leaders via their speeches. So the Home Ministry has done its work. We've already seen that 22 FIRs have been registered. There's also been one of those cases of SFJ, which is currently being investigated by the NIA. There were two cases, one about the larger conspiracy and the second of the December 15 FIR, which talks about how there's an international conspiracy by the ISI, fueled by groups like SFJ and the other, Babak Khalsa International, where they're trying to create trouble by pumping in money, sending money through the NGOs, by pumping in money into ground so that there is violence on the streets. And this is what we really saw. Now remember, these are two different things. One is the rioting which actually happened on ground, and the other is the SFJ conspiracy. Now whether they can be interlinked as far as the investigation are concerned, but yes, the Home Minister now currently holding series of discussions since the time of January 26th, the Republic Day, and thereafter we've also seen his visit here to the hospital to encourage and support the Delhi police in its action. So very clearly, the Home Ministry putting its weight behind Delhi police, whether it's about taking action on ground, whether it's booking the farmer union leaders, making them accountable, or for that matter, laying out the future plan as to how installations like the Red Fort and the others need to have better security, a better sense of infrastructure. So all that is going to be part. Remember, the ASI is expected to submit its report, and then there will be actionable ground report which will ensure that there is better security and better measures put in place. Lookout notices against farmers, farmer union leaders, and then their passports being seized. So we've seen from that day onwards a stern view being taken by Home Ministry, and then thereafter instructions going out to Delhi police to come hard on these farmer union leaders.
Absolutely. I just wanted to tell our viewers that these are live visuals that we're bringing to you on your screens right now, with Amit Shah taking a stock of the situation, meeting the injured cops. Nearly 400 cops were injured in the violence that broke out on Republic Day. To jog your memory, tens of thousands of farmers had stormed into the national capital on Tuesday with their tractor parade, highlighting their demands, dissolving into unprecedented scenes of anarchy. They fought with the police, overturned vehicles. Also, there was a hoisting of a religious flag from the ramparts of religious flag at the Red Fort as well. Unprecedented scenes broke out. Having said that, on your left side of your screens is what really transpired on the Republic Day. On the right side, Amit Shah taking stock of the situation of the cops as well. And we have been reiterating this, that the cops showed immense amount of restraint, did not use police excesses, because all these directions came in from the Home Ministry to show a fair amount of restraint. But you can see on your screens the kind of violence that broke out. In fact, there were scores of these protesters ended up breaking the barriers. They stormed into the Red Fort as well. This was the tractor parade that we're talking about, and 400 thereabout cops were injured due to this. These cops, of course, deserve a big thanks from the entire country. This is Amit Shah with his gratitude right there. Kamaljeet is still with us. Kamaljeet, this is, of course, the optics of which it only says one thing. The Home Ministry is absolutely thankful and is showing their gratitude towards the cops who showed excessive amount of restraint despite the excesses that one was seeing on ground as well. They've been thrashed, cut and bruised, now hospitalized, and the Home Minister standing in solidarity with the cops. Kamaljeet?
Absolutely. Delhi police reports to Home Ministry. He's briefed about every sort of action which is taken on ground. Now, in a couple of years, it's been extremely stressful for the Delhi police, whether it's the CAA or the JNU, and not always has immense support come in. But this time around, when the restraint was shown against the farmers, the Home Ministry standing with the Delhi police and saying, yes, there has been briefings which have been done. We've seen CP Delhi rush to Home Ministry time and again, and in the past 48 hours that's happened. And now we see Delhi CP standing with the Home Minister, with the doctors. He's being apprised about what kind of injuries have these cops really suffered. Along with this are also the CAPF men. So a grave situation, and remember, it's also because of the restraint. Perhaps the injury on both sides have been less. If there was a confrontation or a clash, a standoff which could have been turning into something which is violent, could have led to many more injuries. So conscious decision being taken out there. Many are saying this is also a lapse on part of Delhi government or especially the Delhi police. Remember Kejriwal's reaction coming in much later as to how things are panning out. But Delhi police reports to Home Ministry. So in that sense, the accountability and the onus lies with the Home Ministry itself. And at the helm of affairs, it's the Home Minister who's continuously taken decisions and monitored the situation very closely. And now he's meeting these cops. Remember this, even as the situation is not diffused, the farmers are still very much at the borders. They've not given up. And remember, in that ongoing situation, when the FIRs are booked and the leaders are held accountable, it's still an ongoing situation. And that is why extremely sensitive. And at this point of time, the Home Minister visiting these cops, showing solidarity with Delhi police itself is a big signal that this kind of law and order mess is simply not acceptable. Whatever terms and conditions were laid down by the leaders and the Delhi police, it was not honored. Again, all this has been noted.
Also want to say that 60 days of protests and peaceful ones all diluted because of this one day of anarchy and violence that we ended up seeing in Delhi. The farmers ought to realize now that violence is definitely not the answer anymore.
With the Home Minister's tweet saying we honor the bravery and the courage of Delhi police. So yes, not attacking them, having weapons and still showing restraint is something that has been taken notice of. This is where a higher moral ground perhaps is been taken by the government, that we had the forces, we had the preparation in place. But remember, there have been stray farmers who went over all over ITO and the Red Fort. This is something which has played out now on national media. This has been a sense, a cause of embarrassment also. But clearly, it's the restraint part which is being highlighted now. And again, with lookout notices, summons going out to farmer leaders. On the other hand, a stern view has also been taken by the Home Ministry. So yes, a chance where the talks have failed. Remember the farmer leaders coming time and again, and with the out-of-the-box idea coming in from the top leadership, giving them the laws will be kept in abeyance, and that was rejected by the farmer leaders who were adamant that they will continue with the agitation, which led to a climax on the 26th January. Farmers holding a separate tractor rally parade at the same time as Republic Day, and then thereafter mayhem on the streets of Delhi in ITO, especially at Red Fort, and with Sikh flags now going up. That is something which has been taken note of.
All right, Kamaljeet, we'll keep coming back to you for more on this story. We're slipping into a very short